Okay, maybe phone calls?
I guess so.
Would be our next thing. Call Bess and George, call the county admin, call the police for kicks. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't let us talk to all those people before because we hadn't talked to Joseph yet. So, okay, that's just what it lets us see. Okay, so 5553309. And then I'll try the police and then Ned, Best George. Nope. So now police is 555-1422.
You've reached the St. Louis Police Department. This is a non-emergency.
The only other thing I can think of is to talk to Falcone a second time. That's like... Other than that, that's all we have to go on is our suspects.
Right?
And it's just making us run in circles and talk to them all. Can we just get them all to sit in the same room so we can talk to all of them
Yes,
together?
everyone sit in the lobby. You can't move anymore.
Ned, it's me.
Nancy, Bess called and told me what happened with Maya. I've been worried sick.
Did she tell you what the police said?
About the 24-hour delay? Yeah, she told me. But I have faith in you, Nancy. You've solved plenty of cases before without help from the police. So let's get down to business. Who are your suspects?
It seems there were only 4 people in the building at the time of the kidnapping, besides Maya and myself. Brady Armstrong, Simone Mueller, his agent, Nicholas Falcone, a political activist, and the caretaker, Joseph Hughes.
Any hunches?
Not yet. I've got a lot of work to do.
Call me anytime. I'll try to stay close to the phone.
By the time I finally got to talk to Simone Mueller, she had heard all about the kidnapping and canceled the premiere of Vanishing Destiny.
Sounds like bad news travels fast around old theaters.
That's just the thing. Simone didn't seem to think Maya's kidnapping was bad news at all. She kept calling it a great opportunity. She kept saying what fabulous publicity it's going to be for Brady.
Sounds like she knows how to turn a profit in any situation.
The question is she just responding to the situation, or did she have a hand in creating it in the first place?
No flies on you, Nancy Drew. Sounds to me like your detective mind is in high gear.
Okay.
According to Joseph, the St. Louis Historical Society has been scrambling to get the Royal Palladium declared an historical landmark.
And that would prevent the demolition?
Right.
So what's the holdup?
Joseph thinks someone downtown is stalling.
Maybe someone who wants the demolition has been greasing some palms.
Probably. It's a shame because Joseph seems to think they're close.
I wonder if this kidnapper is just trying to buy a little more time. What does Mr. Falcone have to say about the Historical Society?
It was pretty cynical. Said the whole process was a bunch of hocus pocus.
Perhaps Mr. Falcone is using cynicism to disguise his true feelings.
The plot twist, it was the Sanderson sisters the whole time.
The Sanderson sisters did it.
Just a bunch of hocus pocus.
I've got to think of a way to get this demolition stopped.
Well, the police aren't being much help. But couldn't you try contacting the owner of the building? I'm sure he or she would be willing to postpone for a couple of days. I mean, what's the rush?
According to Nicholas, his name is B. Thompson, and he won't talk to the press.
I wonder what he has to hide.
His building firm is called Wave of the Future.
Catchy.
Did we
I
know
wonder
that?
what he has against the present.
I have a
Ned,
number for Wave
I
of the
just
Future.
remembered something.
Okay, we should
Joseph
call them.
used the phrase Wave of the Future when I first met him. He was talking about the remodel of the theater in 1956. Do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know, Nance. If Joseph turns out to be the owner of the theater and the guy behind the demolition, I think it'll be fair to say you've seen everything.
There's this cool machine in the lobby that makes souvenir keys. You can make a key in any shape and call it the key to your heart. I wanted to make one for you. Not that this is any time to think of
We said we were
souvenirs.
breaking up with
Maybe
him,
after you
Nancy.
solve the case, Detective.
Well, besides the fact that I don't have time for distractions, the machine is out of order.
Phew, that's a relief.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nancy Drew, you know the key to your heart would be much too big to carry around on my keychain. I'd probably throw my back out.
Good point, Mr. Nickerson.
Ew.
Anyway, it's the thought that counts.
Ew.
She marries him. Her name is Nancy Nickerson, and I hate that.
Yeah, you're right.
She's not
That's
allowed
the
to marry
worst.
him.
Harry Houdini must have been quite a character.
What makes you say that?
Oh, it just sounds like he was so generous and passionate about his craft. Everyone loved him.
Any theories yet on what he did with his half of the theater?
No, but I highly doubt he was generous enough to give his half back to old J.J. Thompson.
That wouldn't have been an act of generosity anyway. It would have been a lapse in judgment.
Hint or nah? We might as well.
Yeah.
I could use a hint.
I'd like to help Nancy, but I think you'd better ask
Okay.
Bess and George. My detective skills have been a little rusty lately.
Bye, Ned.
Go get him, Nancy.
We're breaking up with you. Now call Bess and George.
555 hint.
Hint.
How did Nancy convince their parents to change their phone numbers to
Bess?
And George, too. What's new, Nancy?
When I spoke to the police about Maya's press pass, they said that Nicholas is known for using extreme tactics, and that he might even have been involved in a staged kidnapping last year in Nashville.
You don't think Maya could be mixed up with him somehow, do you?
No way. Maya expresses her politics by writing about them. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. She and Nicholas Falcone don't even speak the same language.
I think you're right, George. But Sergeant Ramsey said I wouldn't have any credit with the police if I joined forces with Nicholas.
Who said anything about joining forces? After all, he's still a prime suspect. But that doesn't mean he's not a valuable source of information when it comes to the theater.
She's right, Nancy. As long as he continues to shoot off his mouth, you want to be around to take notes.
Do they even know this guy? Why are they so, like, dead set against it? Like, ugh, that guy.
That guy involved in kidnapping. I guess Maya could have kidnapped herself, but I don't know.
Simone has called a press conference.
It was the same.
I'd like to hear what's being said, but I get the feeling I'm not welcome.
Bess, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Here's what I'm thinking. When has the lack of an invitation ever stopped Nancy Drew before? Is that what you're thinking?
Bingo!
So you think I should just barge right in?
Yeah.
Better yet, why not just listen in? That way you know things that Simone and the others don't know you know. You know?
Bess has a few rocks in her mouth, but she's right. And besides, there's another good reason to keep a low profile.
I know what you're thinking, George. When the cats are away,
The detective mouse will snoop.
Ah, you have a point there, ladies.
Oops.
This might be my only chance to get some,
insight?
yes, some insight into the lives of my suspects. Good idea.
We're full of them. Right, Bess?
Chock full. Bursting
having a
at the
problem with that?
seams.
Yeah, I don't know what's
We're
happening.
practically ideaphoric.
Okay, just next
Brady said Simone wants him to appear wholesomely smoldering to his public. What in the world do you think that means?
Well, wholesome makes me think of apple pie.
And to smolder, according to my trusty dictionary, is to burn slowly from the inside, without flame.
So, he's a sweetie pie on the outside, but too hot to touch.
Oh. Did you have to bring this up with Bess here, Nancy?
Oh my
It
god,
seems like the
Blade.
two things don't go together. One is safe, the other is dangerous.
Interesting. Maybe that's Brady's whole dilemma. He doesn't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Which is exactly why he can't be trusted.
When I arrived at the theater this morning, someone had delivered a funeral wreath.
What was the thing
What?
Isn't that creepy?
You don't know who it was from?
It was from the kidnapper, I assume. The note said something like, "Wouldn't you rather stop the demolition than plan a funeral?"
Since when do kidnappers have the time to special order flower arrangements?
Apparently this kidnapper isn't afraid of the limelight.
Look at the bright side,
I
Nancy.
mean, no one
if you
in our
find out
support
who
list is
sent
afraid
that
of
wreath,
limelight.
your case is as good as closed.
Ladies, I need a hint.
See if Nicholas has had any success with his research.
Okay.
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for weird people!
Shut up. Ugh, hate our friends.
Yeah.
They're too wholesome.
I got the number. I left it in the ticket booth. This woman isn't Houdini herself. She's the widow of one of Houdini's cousins.
Wait, what?
I don't know, but someone related to Houdini might be useful. feel like this has something to do with something we talked to him about months
Maybe
ago.
she knows what's happened
Yeah.
to Houdini's half of the theater. I'll call.
Okay, folks, we're about to get started here.
Is that-
Mrs.
is it
Mueller and
outside?
Mr. Armstrong will do their best to answer all of your questions in the time
If I go in here, can I still
But
hear?
let's proceed with good manners, shall we?
Thank you, all, for coming. I'm only sorry that the circumstances of our meeting are not more festive. Wouldn't it be nice if we were all gathered here today to revel in the blockbuster success of Brady Armstrong's new movie, Vanishing Destiny? Wouldn't we all prefer to turn our attention to record ticket sales and the squeals of delighted fans across the nation? But alas, we have come together today over tragedy, not triumph. I've called this conference specifically to let you know, and I trust you will take it upon yourselves to inform the world, that Brady Armstrong will not rest. The greatest performance of his career will not be unveiled until Maya Nguyen.
Hey, lady, you're breaking my heart. But isn't her name Maya Wynn?
Until Maya Wynn is returned to her friends and family, safe and sound. Already, our real-life hero has searched this theater and uncovered important evidence. Already, he has driven 200 miles in a rent-a-car, no less, distributing missing posters to all the outer-lying regions of this great city. You see, Brady Armstrong is a hero and a regular guy, all rolled into one.
Ooh, I'm swooning.
Put a sock in it, Mr. Camouflage. And now, without further ado, I'd like to open the floor up to questions.
Is it true that the girl was at the theater to interview Brady Armstrong? What was the interview about?
Mr. Charmstrong, do you find your fans respond to you more in your chicken suit or in your curly wig?
Did anyone hear her scream?
Ms. Mueller, you're his agent. Chicken suit or curly wig?
Any speculation of where the kidnapper's hiding her? Where did this funeral wreath come from?
Isn't it a little unusual for a movie star to help with a kidnapping like this?
People, one at a time. Brady.
Well, with all of my experience on the silver screen, I feel well prepared to save the day in St. Louis.
Do you think the kidnapper is violent?
Mr. Charmstrong, have you ever thought about growing a mustache? It might really distinguish you.
Is it true you're offering a reward for the facts leading to Maya's return?
That's right. Autographed movie posters for anyone and everyone who comes forward with a decent lead.
Yes, is it true that that Detective Nancy Drew is on the case?
Yes, Nancy Drew is investigating.
Is she available for comment?
It's a difficult situation. You see, Maya is a friend of Nancy's, and the personal connection, well, it may be clouding the detective's judgment. She's really on edge.
Isn't anybody around here concerned about the welfare of this magnificent theater? There's more than one life at stake today, you know. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, press people, over here. If you want the real story, talk to me. Sorry, Miss Mueller, you'll have your photo op in a moment. Yeah, over here, down by my van.
Oh, is that Falcone? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's call this lady here.
Alright, I'm just gonna state the notes I took over that press conference.
Sounds good.
Simone sucks. Brady sucks. Simone sucks a lot. There's a woman in the crowd who sounds really weird, and I don't know if she's Maya or not, and I'm a little suspicious about that. Somebody already knows that we're a detective and we're on the case, though the same woman in the crowd desperately wants a comment with us. She's a reporter. Simone, very, very mean, said hateful comments about us, and my feelings are hurt. And Falcone took over the press conference at the end.
Nice. Okay, let's talk to Eustacia Andropov. 1
His number's on
8
screen.
1. Oh, it is on screen. I was looking at the notes. 3247. 3247. Does that spell anything?
Yes, hello.
Fair.
Hello, is this Eustacia Andropov?
Who else would it be?
Everyone else is dead.
Oh, Mrs. Andropoff, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm trying to find out some information about Harry Houdini. Is it true that you're his cousin?
Who wants to know?
Oh, I beg your pardon. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm a detective working on a case in St. Louis.
Harry was only my cousin by marriage, but my husband is dead, and so is Harry. So I guess that makes me nobody's cousin. Satisfied?
I'm researching Mr. Houdini's ownership of the Royal Palladium Theater. Would you know anything about this?
He owned it. Half of it anyway, for a few months. Then he died. Does that help?
Do you know what happened to his half? Did he sign it back over to J.J. Thompson?
Return it to James Jehoshaphat? Mr. Stupendous? Not on his life. Losing that man was Harry's greatest escape.
Did someone in Houdini's family inherit the theater?
Harry made a plan to give his half of the theater to someone he admired. A young magician, I assume. Perhaps a protege. I remember my husband telling me this.
Can you tell me anything more?
More? I'm 96 over here. I don't exactly have time to burn.
I know it was a long time ago, Mrs. Andropoff, but this is terribly important. My friend is in danger, and finding out what happened to Houdini's half of the theater may be my only hope of saving her.
Call the Library of Congress. Ask about the Houdini collection. There must be something in all of those letters.
Okay.
You tell that Sherman Trout, Eustacia said, "You're not dead yet, Shermy, so get up and make yourself useful."
The Library of Congress. You don't happen to have that number, do you?
Well, I should have this letter from Shermy around here somewhere. Cat food coupons. Vincent Jacobs repair. Dear Eustacia. Here we go. Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. 202-555-5000.
Thanks, Mrs. Andropoff. You've been a great help.
Save it for my funeral.
Okay. Oh, and it's here. You're having to do a lot of calling in this game.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Manuscripts.
I'm trying to reach Sherman Trout, please.
Speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Mr. Trout. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm a detective working on a case that involves Harry Houdini and the Royal Palladium Theater in St. Louis. Eustacia Andropoff recommended I call you.
Ah, yes. Eustacia was most helpful to us when we were assembling our Houdini collection. I presume you'd like to have a look at it?
Yes, please, Mr. Trout. I'm very interested.
Fine. Well, you'll just need to register with the library when you get here and fill out a request for the materials you wish to view. When your request has been processed, the materials will be delivered to one of our reading rooms where you can view them.
Mr. Trout, please let me explain. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to come to Washington, D.C. to do research. I'm hoping you could help me find a document.
Well, Miss Drew, I'm sorry if you have logistical constraints, but please understand my own limitations. The Library of Congress currently holds over 40 million items, contained in 10,000 separate collections. It's the largest and most comprehensive library in the world. I simply don't have time to run research errands for the individual citizens.
Mr. Trout, if I don't solve this case in a matter of hours, the building I'm standing in will be demolished and an innocent 19-year-old girl, a friend of mine, may lose her life. You may be my only hope.
Why is your friend in danger?
She was kidnapped by someone desperate to save this building from demolition.
And what can you possibly be hoping to find in the Houdini collection that would help matters?
Mr. Houdini was part owner of the theater, and I'm trying to find out who inherited his half or what became of it when he died. I'm hoping Houdini might have discussed it somewhere in his personal documents. If I can prove that the current owner is not legally the full owner, then maybe I can get the demolition stopped and save Maya.
I see. Well, this sounds urgent. I suppose I can take a look.
That would be such a help, Mr. Trout.
Thank you, sir.
If you find anything, could you overnight it to me at the Royal Palladium?
Well, I certainly can't send you the document itself. It's a historical artifact now.
A slide.
But I could send you a slide.
I
What's
wonder
the
if
street
you'll
address
have to
there
project
if I
slide.
find anything?
It's 1330 Washington Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63101. Please send the package in care of Nicholas Falcone or myself, Nancy Drew.
Really?
What?
I can't tell you how grateful I am, Mr. Trout. You might just be a lifesaver.
Really?
Miss Drew,
Well, he
I
did give us the
assure
number.
you, Sherman Trout is a man of his word.
But
Thanks
that's like
so much.
super
Bye.
cahooty.
Yeah, but this is Nicholas Falcone is also the only other person that's super invested in the theater not getting demolished. So I guess this piece of evidence would be safe with him.
I mean, I understand psychic Nancy knows who she can trust whenever. But Nancy.
Yes.
Nancy Drew.
I'm gonna keep harassing the admin until they find the blueprints magically.
Nope.
Yep. Nope. Okay.
Hello.
Talk to everyone.
Yep. We got our notes in the press conference where Simone tried to slander us.
Mm-hmm.
If Falcone's here, we should talk to him.
Not here.
Of course not.
Okay, then we have Joseph, I think, would be the next most interested. Yes, finally! Joseph's gone. I'm so excited. Okay, I can't use this phone either, but I can pick it up. Okay,
We
so...
don't know how to use phones.
Tea bag out of the bag. What is that? I don't know what that is.
It looks like candy or mint.
What is the point of this? And why can't I... Oh.
Rat Hood and Son.
For a clean bed, a hot meal, and a place to hang your hat, you can always room with the dudes.
Dear Mr. Hughes, that would be Joseph. We received your letter inquiring about the whereabouts of Jacob Hughes. Unfortunately, Jake died 6 months ago. He had been ill with emphysema for some time, but we'd be glad to know that he enjoyed his cigarettes to the end. He died peacefully in his sleep. We regret that we were unable to contact you at the time of his death. We had no idea that Jake had a brother. He never mentioned any family, and our research didn't turn up any leads. Your brother was cremated according to his last wishes, and no rent was due on his room. Please contact the county coroner's office if you'd like to have his ashes shipped to you. We're sorry for your loss, but this reflects a fairly heroic.
So his brother died.
But they have no record of him having a brother. Who is Jake Hughes, and who is Joseph Hughes?
Yeah. Jake Hughes and Joseph Hughes.
Also fun, Jacques Hughes is French for accusing someone of something. And it sounds a lot like Jake Hughes.
Okay, so now that he's gone...
Per Interactive, I see you.
Where?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Like, Jacques Hughes.
Jacques Hughes. Okay, now that we're here, we can mess with this machine.
Yes.
Something's missing here.
Yes, this. Don't know what this is, but I want to see it. So put that in. Flip the switch. Turn the knob. Does that look focused?
Yep.
Do one more? No, okay. 3, 4. Okay.
It's 3.
3. And now go run out there and let's go out to the lobby. I don't know why I'm looking at this.
Is it dusty? Looks dusty.
Except to know how this machine works. I think this is the practice for how the machine works. Should we try to go out?
I should switch the power off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we go look at it from down there, but... I'll take this back, thank you.
Okay.
So we've learned how the machine works, now we just need stuff to put in it. Preferably the slide we get tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh!
It's locked.
No, but I have a key, Nancy, you don't understand.
It's locked.
No, it's gonna be the rejection key that we need to make.
Oh, yes. Because we have a... Oh, I'm so angry right now. We have the cast of it, so we can make it. Can I take it?
There was a key here.
No, I want to take this so I can make a key. Fine. Okay. Okay, so we've rooted through Joseph's things, but he is not here. Actually, no one might be here. Oh yeah, George said that we should go through everyone's stuff. I bet you they're not going to come back until we go through everyone's...
Let's go to Simone's room.
Yeah.
I know.
She probably left stuff.
We never get to see her.
She is to the left. Yeah.
Okay, so far we haven't had a chance to look at her stuff.